What is, guys, and welcome back to another Forza Horizon 6 early access video. And today I wanted to talk about something that the game doesn't really go over too well. It basically just says it once, and yeah, it doesn't really tell you like what you can do with it, and that's going to be the auto drive feature in this game. So you can always in the bottom left hand corner press left on the D-pad, and then you get your link where you can have these quick chats that you can just shout out, like you can say hi, and then it'll pop up in the chat, and someone may or may not respond, and it's a good way to, yeah, if you want to party up with someone, something like that. That's why it's in the game. The other thing, though, now this is brand new, is pressing down on the D-pad will give you Anna, who is your in-car personal AI. And you'll see that there is a enable auto drive thing. This is the first time that it has ever been a thing in a Forza Horizon game. But basically, all you do is you go to your map and you say, hey, I want to go knock over this mascot. And mascot is another new thing, just like the XP boards and the fast travel boards, where you knock over a certain amount of them, you'll get an achievement, or if you're playing on PlayStation, you'll get a trophy. And you get rewards for, knocking all of them down, or even one of them down. You'll get XP, you'll get sometimes money, things like that. So I have my waypoint set. Now all I have to do is press down the D-pad and hit left on the D-pad. And now Anna takes over, and she will drive me straight to that mascot. Now there's a couple things that I want to point out about auto drive, though. There are more cons than there are pros to it. If you care about leveling up, if you care about getting XP, you do not really want to use this. You only want to use this when, let's say, you have to go to the bathroom, but you want to go to your next thing. So this will take you to the next thing where you go to the bathroom, or whatever. There's going to be times where you can't have both hands on the controller, and see, it won't knock it over. It'll bring you there, and then it'll knock auto drive off, and it'll give control back to you once it has brought you to the waypoint wherever you put it. So you are actually gonna have to knock over the objectives as the player, like that. And then another thing about her is sometimes if she doesn't see cars right away, she will run into them. Not a big deal. Because your car can't blow up in this game. This is a family-friendly game. Your car can get damaged only to a certain point, and the damage doesn't really affect the driving capability. So we'll set another one. And the driving is pretty perfect, though, I will say. I'm not sure what difficulty she drives at, but she drives pretty perfectly. I will say this is a very well-made system that's brand new. And it'll keep saying, hey, you can press down D-pad to disable auto drive, but see how she's dodging all the cars? As long as she can see them ahead of time, unlike that, she'll be able to. The reason why she crashed into that one is because she saw a car turning, so she tried to dodge the one that's turning, but still hit that one. So, but it doesn't really matter, because you can patch cars like it's nothing in this game. So she brought me to another thing to knock down, boom, like that. But yeah, the biggest con to using the auto drive feature in this game is you'll notice that I'm not gaining any XP when I am, when I have the auto drive feature on. I'm not getting any XP. The skill song doesn't matter. And for you guys that don't know, a skill song is basically just double XP. So if you knock something over, any kind of points that you get for driving on the road, missing a car by an inch, knocking something over, you'll get double points for that. And that's what it means when the skill song is on. But you get nothing when you're auto driving, so just use this when you need it. It's for convenience. It's not there for the player to rely on. And that brings me to my next topic, which is using it in races, which you can actually do. So I have, and I guess I'll show it right now. So we can just fast travel to this race that I've already done. And then I will show you what it looks like when you're using it in an actual race. And I do not recommend it, because you cannot actually win a race with this on. And I will show you why. So we'll enter the event, street race, solo, and then it doesn't really matter what car we pick, because if you pick an S2 car, all cars you go up against are going to be S2. If you pick a C-class car, all cars you go up against are going to be C-tier class, just so everything is fair. So we got the race locked in here. I've already won this race, so it doesn't really matter what I do. We're going to start it, and then I will, start going myself, and then I'll activate enable auto drive, and then it'll say race mode activated on the bottom. But you will not be able to win with the auto drive on, because she is going to be driving at the difficulty of the other drivers. So right now I have it on above average, and that's the difficulty that she's going to be driving at. So she's going to be driving perfectly, but so are the other drivers. So having auto drive on is just like, the other cars. The other cars have auto drive on because I'm not actually playing against actual people. So she's going to keep up the same speed as them. She's not going to do anything that humans would do to try to win the race. And, she might get, 5th place, 6th, who knows? I'm not sure. This is the first time that I'm seeing a whole race play through. Because I did try this, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I just noticed early on, there's no way I'm going to be able to win with her doing this. So I turned it off, and then I, won the race. So I mean, you can test out yourself if you want to, try it out, but you're not going to be able to win any races with this on. So I'm not sure if you can restart the event. Okay, you can quit the event. So we're going to quit the event. I've showed you what is going to happen when you do that. I'm not sure if you can use this.
What's next?
In online multiplayer. I haven't been able to connect. So let's see here. We can go back to that race with auto drive. Turn that back on. And then instead of doing solo, you can do PvP, and the game will try to set up a convoy and get you matched up against online players. But I think because it's early access, for some reason, I'm not sure if matchmaking is just off for races. But I just tried starting a convoy with a stunt race, and I'll make a separate video discussing what a stunt race is, or a stunt party, or whatever it's called. So this time we're going to enter it, street race, and then even though it's locked, you're still going to be able to do it. So it says locked, but we'll say find a convoy. And we want to do PvP racing. And then it said fail to find a PvP racing. Either create a convoy. Hold on. Let me try that again, because I didn't get to read the whole thing. Either create a convoy or try another type. Okay. So we go street race. Create a convoy. PvP racing. Street race. And then, let's see. Okay, so now it says I'm the leader of a PvP racing convoy. And we'll just wait a second to see if any players join. But let's see here. I will say there's another thing called Rivals, where if I enter this event and I pick Rivals, I'm going to be going up against somebody's time. So let's say the record for beating this track is 1 minute. And I'm going to be trying to beat it in less than a minute, and if I do it, then I get rewards and stuff like that. So you can use the auto drive feature in Rivals as well when you're trying to beat someone's time, but you will get flagged for it. I didn't finish the race with it. I'm not sure what the penalty is when you get flagged for it. Maybe you just won't get the rewards or whatever, but the developers have done a pretty good job from what I've seen at making sure people aren't able to abuse this, and it's a fair system that is only supposed to be used in convenience whenever, let's say you're a dad and you have to go check on your kid, but you want to get your next destination or whatever. So that's what it's there for. Even though you won't get XP or skill points with it on, you can still save yourself a little bit of time, even though you can fast travel to a road that you've already been on. So if you, on the map, If you've been to a road, you can fast travel it. You see that on the bottom there in between closed map and toggle map regions, it pops up. The reason why it disappears when I go here is because this little part right here that's blacked out, I haven't driven on. So you cannot fast travel places that you have not driven on. This is actually a better system than Forza Horizon 5 had, because in Forza Horizon 5, you had to pay every time you had to fast travel. It would be like 4,000 credits or whatever, but it would add up. So, you know, in the future, if you wanted to buy like a $3 million house or whatever, and you couldn't, hey, that might be because you spent too much credits on fast traveling, and they just added up, you know. So this time, it looks like they're not going to have us pay for it, but the trade-off is you can only fast travel to roads that you have driven on, which I think is pretty fair. So it doesn't look like we found anyone in the convoy. Like I said, maybe it has something to do with the game still being in early access. And that's why, even though it has a lock thing and it lets us click on it, I don't know, something. I'll Google it and see what's up with that. But yeah, that is basically it for the auto drive feature. That's all there is to it. I guess I could show you. Let's do this race here. Oh, let me get out of it. Yeah, if you're already in it, you have to drive out of it and go back to it. Otherwise, it won't pop up. It's always been a thing in Forza Horizon. Not sure why. So enter event. We'll go to rival. Okay, we'll go to rivals. And then right here you can pick any kind of car you want. So you can go D, C, B. I like to go fast, so I'm going to do R. And then pick whatever R class you want. I want to pick my Halo truck, which I like. Wait for it to load. And then I'll show you what happens when you try to use the auto drive feature in a rivals time race challenge, whatever you want to call it. So start rivals event, and we'll pretend like we're going regular, and then we will enable auto drive, and it says race time flag auto drive use. So we will let it go the whole entire way, and we will see what we are going to be punished, what they're going to take away. I'm guessing we're just not going to get XP, we're not going to get credits, we're not going to get any kind of rewards, we're not going to be able to get on the leaderboards, things like that. So yeah, I would just use it if you have to. Don't use it for things like this, because it's just kind of dumb, you know. We already have cheaters in the game. There's already someone who's level like 2,500. So, you know, even though it's not going to ruin the fun for other players, because I'm sure that, you know, even if they let you use this in an online multiplayer match, you're still probably not going to be able to win with it, you know. But that is an interesting question to consider, is if I'm not playing against any computer players, what difficulty is Anna going to be driving at, you know? So that is an interesting one. Because as she's going through the city, I mean, she's driving perfectly, she's driving as fast as she can, you know, perfectly brakes around the corners. The only issue is sometimes she bashes into civilian cars, which isn't really an issue. You know, but you see there in the top left-hand corner, that's the target time to beat. So we will see. It looks like she is going to be able to beat it, and we'll see what happens here if the game tells us what. So rival time, your time. So that's 10 seconds faster. Collect reward. continue. And then it says that, hey, new rival time. This is a person that has a faster time than the one that you just beat. Do you want to do it? We'll say no. But you can keep doing these over and over and over again, and you'll get put up against people that have had a better time than your last opponent. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it didn't really tell us what we were. I mean, we got credits and we got XP for that. So that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what that flag is. It just says we get flagged for it, but it doesn't say what the punishment is. I'm guessing maybe we just won't be able to get on the leaderboard. I'm not sure, but we got paid. So that is interesting. They will pay you for doing our rivals with auto drive on, but they won't pay you for having auto drive on in free roam. That is interesting. But yeah, that is the new auto drive feature. I think it's really cool. I think it's a W for convenience and everything. But I'm not going to have it on because I want to level up and I want to gain XP and all that when I'm, driving regularly on the road. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you want to know about in Forza Horizon 6. And there are many more videos to come in the future.